The one thing I've learned is that somebody's feet are for everybody.
And that Tuchman avatar is
the
excellent.
Islanders.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
He gave himself the C.
Oh yeah, he's team captain. I don't know, Tuchman. I don't know about that.
Now I wish I got my avatar in a Leafs jersey. That's pretty cool.
I know if Tuchman can rep a team as bad as the Islanders, surely the Leafs.
Yeah.
Hey. I can hear you guys, you know.
Oh, wait. Still
I'm not talking because there's a lot of guys in the box, but I can hear you, okay? Let's pipe down there, okay? Friggin' Leaf fans.
No. Leaf fans do not have very many positive memories in my lifetime. There's maybe about 5 of them. So
if there is one thing about the COVID, is it probably prevented the Islanders from from falling down out of the playoff spot. So they got to say they made the playoffs this year.
Oh.
Hey, go make yourself a grilled cheese sandwich and be quiet, okay, buddy? I've had enough of this.
A lot of accusations in chat, David, that you may have DDoSed your opponent. Anything to say for yourself?
I've done this. I'm only wondering. I mean, I think Brandon is probably scared of playing against me, and my assumption is that he's just going to sit out until the YOLO all-in period, and then he just figures, okay, cool, we'll flip a coin then.
I mean, look, David, I would be scared to play against you, but only because losing to you would mean that I would lose what little shred of credibility that I have.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could go out more, but with as a Canadian, it's just like not really worth playing a lot of the events in the US. And now, I mean, now who knows when the next live poker stuff will be happening. So, we'll need to play on GunnerOnce.com. And it's actually been kind of crazy. Oh, Tuck, there we go. Takes in a big pot.
There it is. Tuchman with a 3-1 chip lead now against Brandon Young.
Yeah, I think he just made a good call there. He can't really fold a pair, and it seems like both of them just played that hand well. The Jack 4 has the gut shot and isn't winning on the river, and Tuchman obviously can't fold the pair, so it seems like they both played it fine.
Yeah, it was a good run out for me. I mean, the river's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it another nice river for Tuck?
Brandon. Oh, wow, top set.
Wow, gets it back immediately. Oh, man, see, I think part of what has happened is that live streaming has kind of ruined the rail. Like, unless you're super, super, super close friends with the person there and they want you there, they want to be able to turn around and see you, like, it's better to just stay in your room and watch the stream.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's definitely just because I think poker is a really interesting game. Oh well, speaking of which, Tuck is playing a huge part here.
All right, let's focus on Tuck's pot.
That
sounds like a
Luke,
fold
what do
to
I
me.
do? I've got a crappy ace. I'm gonna
I think if you have an ace without a club, it's probably just a totally good fold.
Yeah, I had ace 4. I had ace 4 offsuit. Ace 4 offsuit, no club at all. He actually 3-bet me pre.
And you called.
And then bet all 3 streets.
Yeah, I think you played it fine.
Having to figure out what kind of mind
Come on,
games
Brandon.
you're playing right
Stick it in. Let's go. Let's gamble.
He folded. What was it, Tuck?
Ace 8.
So neither good nor bad.
Right, but I was willing to gamble. I figure, with 4 minutes left, ace 8's probably better than what I'm going to have later on. So I'll gamble a little bit. Ooh. Let's build the pot up a little bit. I got to get up over 20,000, so at least I can. If I win one all in, I can finish him.
Finish him. A pot building on Jamie's table as well. She's bet 1,500 into 2,000 and got raised on the river and wins with trip threes. Chris trying to bluff Jamie off.
No, I think
three
Chris
of a kind.
Did it work?
I think Chris was value betting.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
Let's gamble.
Oh, there it is.
Is it going in? Brandon makes the call.
Oh,
Ace King.
the race. Oh, no.
Oh, boy, that's going to be tough to win.
No.
I'm out.
David Tuchman eliminated. Brandon Young moving on.
That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, also, again, like, what are you going to do? The money's going in, 9 post Ace King. Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do when you're playing for 100 big blinds. Oh, that's a good question. They should be that timer is done. Now maybe they're playing there it is. It's time to YOLO.
Yeah.
Jamie with the chip lead. Xecese is going to need to win more than one of these, and that is not happening.
No.
Night. Chris from Twitch. Jamie Kerstetter also moving on. Here, next match is Phil Galfond versus maybe the biggest run at once poker superfan in existence. Galfond versus Thallo. And Richard Gayler versus Bradley Dudeck. What a cool name.
Huge pop, by the way, between Richard Gayler and Bradley Dudeck. It's all in, and it's pocket threes, a full house. Threes full against Richard Gayler's flush. And just
Bradley
like that.
Doodah. Make that full house all day long. Dudeck.
Wow, a little bit of a cooler there.
MP Adam, excuse me. Donated 20 to give directly. Is this saying that you want the 20 euros on Run It Once Poker? Is that why you sent me this? Or you just want a shout out? Because either way, we appreciate it. Thank you. Technically, you are the first person to send me this screenshot.
Bradley Dudeck has advanced to round 2. Richard Gayler no longer with us. I mean, I don't think he died. No, he's still alive. This is just from the tournament perspective. He is out. And Bradley Dudeck does advance. So we've got one match here. Thallo and Phil Galfond battling. Jamie Kerstetter says, Tuck, if you donate another $50 to charity, I will never mention it again. I don't believe you.
So, by the way, so MP Adam, I can probably get you the prize, but you did cheat a little bit because you're the only person that can send a link in chat. So I'll get you your 20 euros on Run It Once, but whoever still gets me one on Twitter, whoever's first, I saw someone in chat say, I just did it for the €5 thing. I got to see it on Twitter.
Oh, look at this action. It's all in. King 10 of clubs.
Flush draw and straight draw.
Galfond had too many outs, did not get there.
Phil is down, but he's not out. I mean, look, if anybody can make a comeback, it's Phil Galfond.
Nah, he's done. Throw in the towel.
Washed up.
He stinks. He's washed up. He sucks. Give it up, Phil. What are you doing?
Bit off more than he could chew.
You're no match for the Thallo guy.
I'm actually worried about Phil.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, Phil's, what a mistake this was. Participating in this challenge in the first place.
You wonder, we've been talking about Elliott Rowe, and we've really been kind of jumping into the whole psychological mindset thing as we watch this. And you wonder how this will affect Phil Galfond the rest of today and then headed into tomorrow. I don't know if this was wise of him.
The word tilt monkey comes to mind.
Exactly. I mean, he's probably cursing up and down his condo.
You love to see it. Guys, I'm excited to have Thallo in the booth, but I'm even more excited by the fact that we have Jungleman playing Dan Smith at the moment. Not too often we get to have Jungleman himself agree to be part of a poker stream. But hey, it's for charity. If you guys are enjoying this, if you're enjoying watching Phil Galfond, watching Jungleman play against Dan Smith, click that charity link, throw a couple of bucks this way. We're trying to get up to $30,000 to help the low-income families of Las Vegas during the COVID-19 crisis. That sounds incredible. Back to even on table, Bob Vance versus Ben Sulsky.
Can we give Twitch chat a little insight into the great Jungle's thoughts, who's right now complaining to staff about the look of his avatar?
No, that's way more interesting.
Wait, who's complaining? Jungleman?
Jungle's questioning why his avatar looks so angry in very classic Jungle fashion.
I think that avatar is actually spot on. It really looks like Jungleman.
Yeah, I think it's good. I also will allow it.
Yeah, they're like that guy. You know, in like junior high school when there's a fight and both sides are kind of just like walking back and forth, and neither one is going to punch. Maybe they grab each other. Maybe they just yell at each other.
We are flipping for the win, and Dan Smith's 4 is hold. Damn, that was fast. Phil with the customer support immediately. Jungle asks, how do I show cards? Phil, not even a minute later, is like settings, gameplay, uncheck automuck winning hands, click save.
Wow, strong.
That is knowing your product. Imagine writing on a different site like, hey, how do I sit out the next hand? And Isai Scheinberg's just like, here's what you do.
I mean, especially considering that Phil has been playing every single day, grinding. It's a Saturday afternoon. You'd think, okay, well, he's no longer in this thing. He's been eliminated. Yet he's still here, presumably watching, listening. Well done, Phil Galfond. By the way, we would be remiss if we didn't tell you, if you we want to raise more money, obviously, for this great cause. If you play one hand, just one hand of poker on Run It Once Poker today, Run It Once Poker will donate 10 euros to this charity. Now, you can play more than one hand, but all you need to do is just play one hand, and Run It Once Poker will donate 10 euros. So if you live in an area where you can play online poker, please do your part.
Much appreciated. Well said, David. 5-figure pot on table. There's a chance. Bringing back fond memories of yesterday's penultimate day of the Galfond Challenge, set to continue tomorrow, 8 a.m. West Coast, 11 a.m. East. It all comes down to this, to the final day, the final 700 hands. You guys said it was over 5 sessions in. It's over. 35 sessions after that, still going on.
Yeah, I remember watching the Galfond Joey Ingram conversation when Galfond was down 900,000.
Dan Smith put Jungleman all in.
If you read the chats, if you read the chat, it was just brutal.
The Easter Bunny will be visiting either Phil Galfond or Vinny Vitti tomorrow. Chat Pro Saturday in full effect from Vicissitude. Well, actually, Phil himself said it was over and said he was just hoping they could back some up, but not all the money. Thank you. Thank you for your comment here on Chat Pro Saturday.
Dan Smith wins Jungleman. Looks like he's got 100 hours of community service.
Game over. GG. Wow, he just wrote, okay, well, do I actually owe 100 hours? I'm not going to continue it. Phil says, I'll do half of it for you.
All right, I'm here.
There he is. And I think we're going to get Dan Smith on also in a minute so Dan can talk about the charity. Jungle, what's up? It's Stapes. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Stapes. I'm doing... I don't know. I really wanted to win, so I'm really mad.
Yeah, are you the kind of guy that you take the losses, it feels bad no matter what, even if there's not a whole lot of money on the line?
Not really, actually. Matter of fact, I should have been way more convincing when I said that. Like, no one knew it. No one thought I was fucking mad. No, that's not really true. But probably between me and Luke, Phil's got a very real chance of getting finished. Or should I say Mr. Falcons.
Oh, that's what someone meant when they said Mr. Falcons. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, Phil's what's his name? His alias, is that right? I think that's the right word. Is Mr. Falcons. In case you didn't know.
I did not know.
You do.
Loving having Jungle on here. Looks like it's over on table Bob Vance. Bob Vance will advance to the next round, knocking out Ben Sulsky. Wonderful.
Hey, guys.
There he is. There's Dan Smith. What's up, buddy?
I would say I am doing well, but given that Jungle hopped in right away and I couldn't follow the instructions, I feel a little bad about myself.
You should feel bad.
But you did beat Jungle Man in your heads-up match. So.
It was very satisfying.
Jungle said that you typically have a cocky smirk on your face, and he wanted to smack it off.
I have gotten a lot of shit over the years for smiling while I play, which is a strange thing that it upsets people, but
I was going to say,
smile, Jungle.
You're a pretty honest guy. I was like, if anyone can admit to having a cocky smirk, I think Dan's going to come clean about it.
Would have thought so too, but he didn't come clean.
He kind of did.
I thought I just said I had a smile on my face, Jungle.
More like a cocky smirk to me.
Well, I'll work on that.
Jungle, we got people in chat asking how you gave the nickname Falcons to Phil Galfond.
I didn't give it like it was a typo. It was more because of fate actually. Fate gave him Mr. Falcons. Like the typo in like the WhatsApp group for some game, just spat out Falcons and it just stuck. And that's the origin of Mr. fucking Falcons. I mean he's very much like a falcon in many ways in the poker world. He's like noble and soars high and what's the word? Majestic like a falcon in the poker world, something like that.
Yeah, legendary, a rare sight.
Yeah, indeed. And the guy never like. I think he's never done anything wrong. I don't know. It's
I think
strange.
he's on the short list that everyone roots for.
It's true.
Absolutely, he is. Hey, this is both could describe a Falcon and Phil Galfond. He's unflappable.
Guess that's true too. He is unflappable, I think.
MFF, Mr. fucking Falcons, as Jungleman calls him. Dan, where are we at for you? Cowboy hat status, is that still a thing?
It is very much still a thing for me.
What a cold deck here. Sorry, Thomas almost all but knocking out John Cynn. Trips over trips, but Thomas had a full house, paired his 7. Cowboy hat. Jungle, what's the first thing people see when they walk into your house?
House? What's let me think.
Your main place where you let's say you're bringing a young lady over and we are flipping for the win and John Cynn manages to double up. Let's say you're bringing a guest, right? You've been out, you've had a nice, lovely evening. You're like, want to come back and hang out. What's the first thing that this person would notice when they come back to your domicile?
For a second.
He's trying to think of which, should I tell him about the Barbados house or should I tell him about the Newport Beach house?
I actually don't think I have a house.
Wait, did it take you all that time to remember whether or not you have a house?
Oh no, I was thinking. I guess the mess. They noticed the mess, that's for sure. I'm trying to think of a funny response to that. And
no, that is funny. House, so. That's good enough.
I'd like to say a little bit about why I decided to do this.
Yeah, please.
To change some of my actions. Let me think of how to put it simply. Basically through, well, I was going to write something as well and post on the internet, but the conclusion occurred to me that especially in poker, we're all taught to look out for ourselves and like think of things in a selfish way, etc. And like that's kind of it's one of the ways of thinking about life in general. It's always like the selfish perspective versus giving to the collective perspective, and I happen to believe that through altruism, or even like implied through religion or whatever, excuse me. I want to say that I think that if everyone works together, it will eventually create an emergent system for humanity, where humanity acts as an emergent system that will ultimately lead to a better situation for everyone. And now that the world is becoming more globalized and whatever, like technology is accelerating, I think this becomes more and more important. And the way to make this happen is essentially to like help out our fellow people, and to sacrifice a bit, especially when we're in a fortunate situation. Yeah, and so as being a successful poker player, having the positive of all the situation, I feel like it's my role to give back a bit, and that's the general philosophy behind my actions. Maybe that will help. Maybe some people can agree. Like it doesn't have to do with religion necessarily. It can be. You can think of this through, like you can come to this conclusion through rationalization, I think, or just thinking logically or whatever. But not really. I can't.
While
think of
Jungle
else.
is thinking, I would just like to say I think it's kind of interesting that his motivation seems to be like stemmed from like general positivity about the world. And I would say mine came much more from like a depressive place, like both with myself or like the general feeling that as a society that we're in trouble. And I'm not saying one is wrong or the other, but I just think it's cool how like both places can take you to the same place of it being important to do a good thing.
Right, and with the same goal in mind. The end goal is to have this. You both have the same sort of society that you're aiming for with your efforts. It's just your motivations were slightly different in the first place. We are down to less than a minute left in both of these matches. Typically, what happens is once the timer runs out, once action becomes the pros button, that's when the YOLOing begins. So this could be one of the last few regular hands we see. Bryan Pellegrino with a 3-1 chip lead over Dan Dobie. Cynn trailing 2.5-1 to Thomas Knowles. And action is on Dan Dobie, that is. Too many Dans happening right now.
A lot of Dans.
I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, so that button's going back to Cynn. I believe it is YOLO time on table Knowles and Cynn. Yep, and it's YOLO time on Pellegrino Dobie. Time to get it in and let the chips fall where they may. 7-9 against King 5. Knowles looking like it's going to be over. One hand and done. So Cynn eliminated by Thomas Knowles. He'll be moving on to round 2. What's happening on table? Pellegrino, he is all in. Dan Dobie, supposed to be calling, seems reluctant. Queen Deuce versus King Deuce. It's Domination Nation. And King High holds. Dan Dobie eliminated Bryan Pellegrino, moving on to round 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One match left to go. How's that possible? One match left to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't know how that's possible. I counted something wrong. I did something wrong. I just want to take a second to say thank you and goodbye to both Dan Smith and Dan Cates. Thanks so much, guys. If you're around later, want to hop back on, that would be great. We would love to have you get some more chat. Talk about the way of the world a little bit more. But thank you for being on the stream. Most of all, thank you for participating in something that brings so much light into the world. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You're very, very welcome. Always a pleasure to get to chat with those guys.